welcome back to my channel. My name is Diamond. Did you miss me? Because I missed you. It's been a while since we spoke. Right? Did you miss me, really? Thank you guys for watching my last video and supporting it and sharing it. I've had so many people reach out to me and, you know, just checking on me. That's the least, you know, that I asked for. So I'm so grateful that people are just doing that now and reaching out and saying how much they've been inspired or telling me a story of theirs. I'm so grateful for you guys' support and just taking it easy on the kid, okay? Because this is like, it's quite nerve-wracking to do this and share your story, but God's got a purpose for me sharing my story with you guys. So I'm so happy you're receiving it well. I'm excited to come back and just give you an update. It's been a few weeks since I've been with you guys. Your girl's an entrepreneur, okay? Right? So I'm trying to build my business. I've got a fashion brand called SIR and I'm just trying to build it on my own. So that takes up a lot of my time and as well as other things. So that's why you haven't seen me weekly, but I'm back. And we're going to continue the story. If you don't know already, my page is about my journey with endometriosis. I was diagnosed with stage 4 endometriosis. And my aim is just to build a community of Endo Bullies. And that's just a group of women who are taking charge and getting on top of their disease as best as they can. Okay? So, without further ado, this is, I think, what, part 4 we're at? Today's topic is going to be about Orilissa, okay? And Orilissa is a pill. It comes in 2 forms. It's either 150 grams or 200 grams. And it's similar to Lupron in the sense that it still puts you in a menopausal state, but it's not as intense as Lupron. So, how did we get to Orilissa? Di? I'll tell you. Where I last left off, you see me looking down, I told you, like before, my board, the kid memory going. So if you see me looking down, that's where it is. Last place I left off, we spoke about me being in a really dark place and protecting your mental health. And just to clarify, that is literally trying to prevent you from having a real diagnosis of mental health. We don't want that. And we don't want your mental health to suffer. So do practical things to talk about what's going on with your emotions and what's going on in your mind. I shared with you that I experienced wanting to take my life and God helped me out. I didn't say that night I literally turned on my TV and YouTube came up and this sermon came up. And I'm going to put it again in the info below. And that is what changed it for me that night. It just came out the blue. I swear to you. So that's where we was at. And I was just told that I could have had cancer because my smear test came up abnormal. I had an 8-centimeter cyst that was going to burst at any minute now. And I was a walking time bomb. And, you know, I was experiencing endo pain and everything was just going off. Okay. And it was just a lot. It was just a lot one time. And then, so I had that low moment. It took me, when I say like a bounce back, it wasn't just like a bounce back. Do you know what I mean? Like it's a process. And I prayed and I didn't tell anyone that I was experiencing that suicidal thought, but I did express, you know, being low or being sad or being depressed. And it was a process, writing it out, journaling it out. So I got to that point and I got in a better space. My smear test came back. I didn't have cancer. Yay. And also my doctor sent me off for MRI. So before we done any surgery, he sent me to go and get MRI done just to double check what was going on. It gives you a much clearer image of what's happening in your body. So MRI, I took that and it came back that cyst that was 8 centimeters wasn't actually 8 centimeters anymore. And people might say, well, maybe your doctor got it wrong. I, Diamond King, physically saw on the screen of when I was getting the sonogram the size of that black ball, and I saw him measure it, so I know he weren't bugging. So when I went to get an MRI, it came back that I do have a cyst on each ovary, actually. One was 5 centimeters and one was 4 centimeters. And the only way I can explain this situation to you as to where the 8 centimeters cyst went to is God. Literally, that's it. The end. Pool. That's literally all I can say, because I know what I saw with my doctor, and then the MRI came back, excuse me, and that was a whole different kettle of fish. So the good news was I didn't need surgery, and I also wasn't a walking time bomb. The bad news is I still do have 2 cysts that needs to go, and we're trying to prevent having to have surgery, because the more surgeries you have is the more at risk you're putting your body and your reproductive system in terms of wanting to have a child. I don't have any yet. I'm gonna have my son one day, but for him to get here, I'm gonna have to reduce the amount of surgeries I have where I can, you know. So that's where we're at. We have 2 cysts and we need to try and get rid of it. Now, like I explained to you before, when I went to go see the endocrinologist, just to clear that up too, that wasn't the only endocrinologist in the state. He was the only one who was, my insurance was taken. So when I went to see him in the last video, like I told you, he recommended that I get this pill called Orilissa. Now, Orilissa is not as intense on your body as the Lupron injection, which I was explaining to you guys before. The Lupron injection, it puts you into a menopausal state, but it's quite intense. It's a high dose that they put in. You could get it either once every 6 months, or you can get it once every 3 months. No, what am I talking about? Once every 3 months or once a month for 6 months. There we go. Out here giving wrong information. Yeah, so that is where we was at. So he didn't want to put me back on Lupron, because you're only meant to be on Lupron for 6 months. The Orilissa is a much longer dose. You can be on it for much longer. However, it gives you similar effects. Now, my insurance weren't having any of that. Like, I appealed, I got my doctors to appeal. They weren't having it. Right before the MRI, I tried to get this pill before I even knew that I would definitely need it. I was just doing it as a plan B. I couldn't get it. The next step they said to me was that I would need to do a state appeal, which means that I would need representation, I'd need a lawyer, I need to know what the hell I'm talking about so that I can get this pill. And I decided that I wasn't going to do that. I at this point, I had enough. I was been speaking to insurance companies. I might as well work for them, because I spoke to them nearly every day. And it was just too much. I said, no, I'm not doing this. Forget it. So after the MRI, I went back to my original GYN, and he said to me, look, Di, let's try and prevent you having to have surgery. You need to get on this Orilissa. And I explained to him, like, doc, look, here what, yeah? My insurance is not having it. And he was like, okay, well, in the meantime, I'm going to have to put you back on Lupron, because you need to be on something that's going to suppress your estrogen and stop you from bleeding. The mini pill, which is a contraception pill, which I was on, clearly weren't working for me, because while I was on it, I got 2 cysts back on my ovaries. So that wasn't an option. So it was either Lupron or Orilissa. And all I had was Lupron. But because my body had gone through Lupron already, it was quite intense to go on it again. You know, I know there's some people that's on it for years, and to each their own. But for me, it's too much for me. I'm only 28, so it was like just a shock to my system. So I said, well, I don't have a choice. I have to go back on Lupron, and I'll try it one more time for this Orilissa. I'll give it one more shot. And, you know, if I get it, I get it. If I don't, just, I've done it. I've tried everything. So I'll do the state appeal and we'll see where we go. And he was like, okay, I'll do what I can on my side. You do what you can on your side and let's go. I said, all right, cool, doc. Let's do it. So I had 1 month of Lupron and it took a toll on my body. Now, I explained in I think a few videos ago how Lupron affected me, and I got nearly every symptom. But this time it was like my body was like, really? So you're gonna give us the symptoms again? Okay. And it just doubled. Boom. Headaches were worse. Hot flushes were worse. Night sweats were worse. Like, I don't think I got the mood swings as much. I was on it for like 1 month, the Lupron. So I didn't get the mood swings. My body didn't have time to get into it. But it was on 10. It was on 10. That's the only way I could describe it. It was on 10. And I hated it. And I went to see my GYN and he was like, yeah, we need to get you off of this. We need to get you off of this because your body can't take it now. It's like, it's done its bit. It's done its time. It's over it. And the day, I think like 3 weeks before my birthday is September 20th. 3 weeks before, maybe 2 weeks before, I'd done the state appeal. I called them up. I appealed with the state. They said they was going to send me a letter to give me a date of my hearing of when I would speak to the judge about getting this pill. And I'd been on Lupron now for about 4 weeks. And the day before my birthday, I got a letter in the mail saying that they've received my hearing and they're going to send me another letter with the date on it for my official hearing. So they're just showing me that they've acknowledged my request. And I was like, okay, cool. Let's see how it goes. Literally, guys, let me show you how God works, yeah? Literally, the day after my birthday, hear what I'm saying? September 20th, my birthday, I got the letter. The day after, I got a text from the pharmacy to say that the Orilissa has been approved, right? Out of the blue, right? The Orilissa has been approved for 1 whole year, yeah? And I can come and collect it, or they can deliver it to me for free. They could deliver it to me for free, right? You know, I was waiting for the hearing, you know. I was waiting for the date so I can go and appeal. I all put on my PSI hat. I watched so much law shows, right, that I was like, yeah, I'm about to kill this. Like, I'm about to knock this out the park because they ain't ready for when I state my case. And God said, you don't have to go through all of that. I see your pain. I hear your prayer. I hear other people's prayer. Here you go. This is what you need. Here you go. And I got it approved and I just could not believe it. I spoke to a representative like, are you sure I got approved? Like for real, for real. He was like, yep, a year's worth is all here for you, is ready. I said, wow. So I didn't have to be on the Lupron. I went on the Orilissa and I was scared. I was terrified because I saw all these videos on YouTube about people who've been on Orilissa, and it just hasn't been great for anyone that I saw. So I was like, oh gosh, like why would, but then I thought to myself, why would God get me here to see me suffer, you know? And this is either going to be a lesson or a blessing. And I said, all right, cool, I'm just gonna have to do it. And the first 2 weeks on Orilissa, I got 200 milligrams worth. Because my cysts are quite big, they need a higher dose to try and shrink it. Now, there's this thing that Orilissa doesn't shrink cysts. It only helps with pain. I don't want to talk on that too tough yet because I want to wait until like 3 months or 6 months, and then I can officially say to you guys, for me, it either did it or it didn't. But I was on the 200 milligrams. My doctor advised me to take 1, except for 2. You're meant to take 2 if you get the 200 milligrams, or 1 if you get 150 milligrams. So I was on 200 milligrams a day. And because I took it off of the back of that first injection of Lupron, my symptoms went like this. Yeah. And they just intertwined, and my headaches were through the roof. I had a headache nearly every other day. As God is my witness, nearly every other day I had a headache, and they put me to my bed. Like, sometimes I could work through them. If I'm feeling real techie, I could really like push through. But there are times where I said, no, I can't, I shan't, I won't. Like, I'm not gonna do that because it's just so disabling. And the hot flushes were on 15. I was like stripping every minute, and it came with nausea. And like I told you guys, I don't do well with vomiting or nausea. Anything in that little family, I'm out. So the nausea and the hot flushes and the headaches were so bad the first 2 weeks on Orilissa. So bad. Honestly, guys, it wasn't good for me. I did not like it. It weren't good. About the third week or the fourth week, my body started to get used to it. So it's been 2 weeks now. No, let me not lie. A week and a half, and I haven't had a headache. And that might not sound like a big thing for the average folk, but for me, that is an accomplishment. A week ago, I went back to see my GYN just to, get a little update since I've been on it for 3 weeks. And he said that one of my cysts had gone down a little bit. And he emphasized a little bit just not to get my hopes up. But he was like, at least it's not getting worse. So I will come back to you guys on how it works with me in terms of shrinking the cysts. And I pray to God that it does that and I don't have to have surgery. But until then, my Orilissa journey so far, I'm now on week 4. I'm going to have to pause it because I have a stomach bug that I have to have antibiotics for. So I'm going to have to pause it for 2 weeks while I go on the antibiotic and then start again, because Orilissa clashes with nearly every drug. Do your research before you take any other pill, whether it's pain pill, whether it's antibiotics, whatever you need to take with it. Please do your research, because Orilissa clashes with everything. It's that drug that likes nothing. Like, it doesn't go with anything. So I have to come off it for 2 weeks, which I'm not happy about, because my body is just starting to get used to it. Like I said, I haven't had a headache in a week and a half. So I know I'm going to have to go on it. When I go back on it, it's going to feel like I'm starting all over again. And I also haven't had a period. So since I took that Lupron shot right into Orilissa, I haven't bled. And I feel that it's because my body got so used to the Lupron that once I got the injection, it shut it down. It shut it down. So I haven't bled. So I'll update you guys on how I'm going in the next video. And also we're going to get into some fun things, like I want to talk about some meals that are good for you. We can cook and talk together and just different things, so I've updated you guys. You guys are now right on the journey with me, like for real. With Orilissa and my endo, I haven't had any endo pain on my Orilissa, and I haven't had any bleeding. I've had my hot flushes, I've had my headaches, I've even had a couple mood swings, but it's nothing as bad for me as the Lupron in terms of the variety of symptoms. Like I said, my biggest hurdle was my headaches. They were bad. But outside of that, so far, I feel like my body's starting to get used to it. So that's it, guys. Stay tuned for the next part of my story. I'll let you guys know what's happening with me. But thank you for making it through to 19 minutes and 39 seconds. I hope you guys stay safe if you're in the United States, and if you're in the UK, you guys are on lockdown anyway, so be safe in your house. And anywhere else you are in the world, just stay safe, love one another. Thank you guys for watching me and listening, and just staying tuned with what I've got to say. Please follow me on Instagram, get in touch. I love to hear from every one of you. Thank you, love you, have a great day.